Mr. Wheeler, please lead us.
Please hand over your heart. Ready, begin.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Roll call. I am here. Stephen Rendon is here. Justin Wright is here. Tim Hepburn is here. And Ms. Finch is here. Move to approve the agenda. Seconded? Second. Second by Nicolette. All in favor? First off, any questions, Ms. Finch? Okay. Yes to approve the agenda. All in favor? Aye. Aye. Who's that? Said I did, right? Last time RTA went first, so I think it'll be first TSCA.
All right. Officially, welcome back, everybody. Hopefully, you guys had a good summer break. I had a break. I will be giving the king from the first biggest book next year. Just kidding, all night. We do have our first chapter meeting next week, so looking forward to that, as well as getting our sunshine proposal together to submit to the district and start negotiations sooner than later. Other than that, that's all I have.
Okay, thank you. RTA?
Welcome back. No questions really happened in the first week, so that's good. But all teachers are back with restaurants getting ready as well as RDS for their Tuesday night, next Wednesday night. So that should be fun. I think both sites did have a back to school week teacher beginning of last week, which went pretty well. Although I did have a kid that showed up, I'm just going to show some mistakes. Showed up, and then just so I know what that means. So they showed up, they signed in, let them, and the kid moved to contact. Oh, okay. I'm not sure why I would have, but hey, I'm lucky about that. But yeah, it was odd. Otherwise, I would have perfect attendance since I started. But no, everything is going well. We're supposed to have our first meeting this week, but it got postponed to next week. Something about the president had to do something, so make a meeting, so we had to change it. Then I have my first meeting on these days tomorrow for the school year. It's only about a 4 or 5 page agenda, so like real quick. No, there's not much, but we're off to a good start. I'm so excited, but not burnt out just yet. So.
Thank you. Student board member.
We are doing character strong in the last 10 minutes of third period, and then they are working on air conditioning for all the rooms, not all working, and then dress code. All the students have to really well with dress code, and then the phone policy. Everyone has been adhering to it, so it's been very good with both Chopco and RHS, and then we also have a spring week next week. That's it.
Sign up, this brings with a new ad too.
Oh yes.
Yes.
My sister had her baby.
Who is?
My sister.
Which one?
This past.
Is it 5 years? No, 6.
There's 7 of
There's
them.
7. Yeah, I agree with you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
CBO.
Mr. Since our the exhaustive group of admin and back school started. Naturally, as students regard the heat cranks out, that's what was already stated with that's the HVAC units replaced at the high school with in the last week or so, so that, you know, weirdly enough, the 30-year-old units just aren't holding up the way they used to. So, work in progress there, and then, you know, him and I was doing what we can with, you know, what doesn't need full-on replacement, and making sure that, you know, freon and compressors and other works that have a rough idea of what they need are working. Thankfully, I'm not working on your basic units. That would have a little bit more complaints. But we're, yeah, all in all, knocking on wood, not the roughest start of school year, so we got that going for us. Construction is, you know, continuing throughout the district. The locker room has been approved for ESA, so we've got even more coming for, you know, going forward. So that's about it for me at the moment. Got an audit what's coming up next month. So real fun, exciting time for everybody.
Assistant Superintendent of Instruction and Curriculum, Dr. Mendes.
Good evening, everyone that joins us in person and also online. We had a variety of professional development opportunities over the summer, including thinking maps, professional development, and Fisher from Kern County Superintendent Schools, KCSOS, also Dr. Nancy Fry and Dr. Joseph Aesop from the representatives from Corwin. And they worked with our teachers. Dr. Nancy Fry focused on rigor unveiled. We continue to work with this rigor unveiled. And it really goes into depth in terms of what rigor is and what it looks like in the classroom. So it has a lot of information, resources. I'll pass this down for you to take a look at the rigor unveiled there. Also resources were shared. And then Dr. Joseph Aesop, he focused on working with secondary math teachers. It was a smaller group, but it was really focused on deep dive into mathematics with Dr. Aesop there. There were some other offerings as well that we had over the summer in terms of professional development. Cheryl will go into more detail on those items for the other offerings that we have for professional development. We're excited to continue our partnership with Solution Tree. They will be providing coaching and support with the sites, working with the collaborative teams, grade level chairs and departments as well. And so we continue to work with Solution Tree as well as Dr. Fisher. He'll be here on the Q-Night this month, so be ready for Dr. Fisher. We continue to work with Dr. Wetzel, and then we're meeting with Ken O'Connor scheduled to continue to work on centers-based grading. Those are the items that we've been focused on. In terms of Williams, I'd like to thank Mr. Bagnath and his team, as well as multiple departments, Raleigh, facility staff, all team members that helped out with the successful Williams visits, where they took a look at not only instructional materials but also facilities. Thank you to Mr. Bagnath and his team, as well as multiple departments within SKUSD. And then thank you to Roseman Elementary School, the administrative team there at Adams, as well as all the custodial staff and people who helped out. We had 3 visitors from the Williams that were from Kern County Superintendent Schools office, and they were excited to visit our facilities, our schools, and they said we had great facilities and students. They're very excited to visit Southern Kern. And then in terms of ELD, we continue with LPAC testing, initial LPAC testing. We got about 30 students in elementary district-wide for their initial LPAC testing. Dr. Tolliver's been supportive of that, and then 3 at the secondary for LPAC testing. And that concludes our report.
Assistant Superintendent of Special Education and People Personnel. Ms. Taylor.
Hello, everybody, and again, welcome back. Seems like it's been a fairly smooth start to the school year this year, from what I've been seeing, so that's awesome. We did have a couple of trainings from our department this summer before school started, which one was Character Strong, as you mentioned. Character Strong is our social emotional learning curriculum. All students get instruction in social emotional learning, and so all teachers provide that instruction. And so we had 200 plus people in attendance at the training. It went really well. We also offered classroom management PBIS training, and the coordinator of special education, Belda Kirk, and myself provided classroom management PBIS training, and then we also had our BCBAs provide training on behavior intervention plans and what they entail and how to implement them, and our mental health therapist also presented on mental health. Again, we had over 200 people. It was a really successful training, and we got some positive feedback on that. And since school started, we're basically working on balancing all of our caseloads and classroom sizes. That's about it for me.
Thank you. Assistant Superintendent of Human Resources, Ms. Harness.
Welcome back, everyone. Our office has been really busy, and so just a shout out to those that work in my office. They've been doing fingerprints, they've been doing paperwork, they have been making sure that all of our new teachers are, on the right step and column, support, correct. So they have been very, very busy, and I appreciate all of their hard work. We do have some classified openings. As always, we are always in need of paraeducators. So as we've gained a few additional students, we need a few more paraeducators. So anybody that is looking for a position, they can apply. We also need a few campus safety officers. Our certificate staff, we have a few openings that we still have to fill, but we are going to fill those soon. Our substitute teachers, we've had a number of substitute teachers, I want to say probably close to 44 that have applied, and so we're again getting that paperwork done, getting them fingerprinted, so that make sure that we have plenty of substitutes for any teachers that might be involved. And that is it for me.
Thank you. Superintendent Gaines.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. And I too want to welcome our parents who are joining us from home. I have to say that last Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, I asked Alma a couple of times, Alma, is your phone working? Because it was just crickets in the superintendent's office, which on opening the first couple of days of school, that's always like, wow, this is exciting, And I just want to say to our parents out there, I know that the first couple of days of dropping off, picking up students, it can be an arduous task, to say the least. And I just want to say thank you so much to our parents for doing it, and doing it very quietly, and it was really appreciated. I also want to thank all of our teachers, because the first few days of school, until we get everything refined and down to a fine science, they're out there at dismissal, they're there early in the morning, making sure that all of our kids get to the right room, and we couldn't do it without them. And I also want to give a huge shout out to Desiree Castro, our supervisor in transportation, because I don't know how she does it. We have West Park over here, we have West Park Satellite over there, and these kids are going to school at this time, and there's another campus over there, and it's all working out. I'm afraid to say too much, but it seems to be really, really working out. And Casey, I know you and Mr. Holmes have gone above and beyond, and that's what I will say about that. So fortunate to have such amazing leaders at the sites, really, and you see their leadership, especially at the beginning and the end of the school. So thank you all for that. Really appreciate it. And I'm very excited. Back to school night's coming up, and our numbers seem to be holding quite well. And so yeah, it's going to be a great year. I truly believe it's going to be a great year. Thank you.
Board communication. Shall we start with Joseph?
Sure. Thank you everyone for coming, appreciate it, everyone from home and and looking forward to the presentation today about a possible future solar project for our district. And with that, just looking forward to it from there. Thank you, Trevor.
Adrian, sorry.
Right now,
Okay. Good evening, everyone. Welcome back, students, parents. We're back at it. Hopefully, everyone had an amazing summer and is just ready to get started and make smart choices. Like everyone kind of has said today, that so far things have been really quiet and there's really nothing to report yet. I hope it stays that way, but realistically, we know it's not. So I just encourage everyone to please make smart choices. I can't say it enough. It's a lot of work when you don't, not just for the board, but for the parents and for, our admin and things like that. So please just be smart. I just really want to get that out there. And please look out when you're crossing the streets. All the walkers out there, the cars are not looking for you, so please be aware. That's it.
Okay, yes. So, oh my gosh, this is our first board meeting for the school year, 25-26. I would also like to give a shout out to Lady Emmett over there. Emmett, she's doing a great job. Every morning she's out there making sure everybody gets past that big old gate that's in the way, their coffee, greeting everybody, and I love it. Thank you, Sally. I love it. I was able to, so I didn't have 1,000 hats to do. I was there for the meet and greet at West Park, recruiting for PTA. I'm like, come on, Tyga, don't you want to sign up? We need involvement. So all around, I saw the site council thing. Where are we at this? We'll see about that. But we need more parents to get involved with things. I see a lot of people online asking about blah, 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 blah. Get involved, volunteer. We need you. It's going to be a great year. What else did I want to say? I'm sorry. I'm very, very serious about attendance and not missing school. My kid already missed her first day of school.
There's some sickness going on.
She was so sick. She was just like, it's not happening. No. But she slept a lot, got some rest. So guys, take care of yourselves. Take your medicine, hand sanitizer, masks. The cooties are real this year. Other than that, I'm looking forward to, I'm very interested in solar too, so I'm looking forward to hearing about that. But what are we growing, guys? What are we growing in our beds?
I've got tomatoes and pumpkins.
All right, okay. You know what I was thinking about? A garden club at every site to kind of maybe we could find some. Yes,
I'm just gonna be the advisor.
I'll come to every site. Seeds, dirt, compost, let's go. Seed bank? Okay, I'll stop. But yes, I would like to see more of the growing, anything. I don't care what it is. Just grow something. Thanks.
Wow. Thank you. Well, welcome everybody, and hopefully we're off to a good start. Let's keep it going. It's great to be back after 3 weeks of spending a vacation on Lake Champlain in Middle Vermont. plus attending my 60th high school reunion, which when Adrian was here, he was picking on me and I was picking on him. As he was graduating, I told him, I said, it was me 60 years ago. One of the things I like to do when I do go out on vacation, and I'd like to, and I did this time, I went to the local school district that happened to be, runs my high school. My high school, when I was there, was semi-private, so it wasn't under a school district at that time. And a couple of takeaways, we're about the same size. The superintendent, I think she's his clone or he's her clone, whatever. They think a lot, they do a lot, and he's very successful. And the only thing, Robert, you don't have to do that poor CEO up there does, he has to prepare a budget that has to be voted on by the voters for the school budget. So you're lucky. But other than that, we're ready to go for this year, and hopefully we'll have a very successful year.
Thank you, Rob. Just want to wish everybody a great back to school. I mean, so far it's been quiet, which is good. Just want to ask one question, Suresh. How's the cell phone stuff going on? Awesome.
Can I tell you, if you look out there, just being on the campus, and just saying I have to share it, and I'm just not going to keep yourself for like a pop boss, like, your cell phone, no cell phones, it's been on it, so I want to give them that.
I know it's only the first week of school, but it's gotta be a big improvement in the classroom. It's working. Teachers are very. It's good. Awesome. With that, subcommittee communication. Anybody have anything? We got CT or DSA approval for the locker rooms, so we will be going out bid for that project. West Park, you guys are dealing with a lot of dirt. We're doing a lot of dirt work over there for the new classrooms that are going in. I drive by, I wait till everybody's in class before I drive through, have a look at what's going on. Cafeteria, going good. Everybody loves it. Everybody loves it. I think it's gorgeous.
They had ice cream the first. Did they have ice cream the first week or just the first day?
First day.
First day.
Yeah.
That was a huge hit, I heard.
I bet it was.
Maybe that was Johnson. He's actually
All the students.
Awesome. We're working on the CT project that's still in progress. I did a site visit today and went over to the farm and we looked over what we have and what we need to get rid of, fix, and all that kind of stuff. So it's been busy with building. We're still trying to finish up a few touches over at RES for the West Park satellite. Hopefully you'll get a playground real soon.
Get to use the playground real soon. That's the.
If you use the playground, it's dark for a while.
The kids are still up there, still happily playing though. I will report they
sure.
do have a space and they are having a good time. My daughter can attest, she's there too. So.
Okay, do we have any, what are we going to hear from the soul?
After the consent.
Okay. Consent items A through E. Does anybody have any questions? Nope. Student board member advice. Anything? Yay? Thank you.
Make a motion to approve.
Motion by Ray, seconded by Vincelet. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Instruction of possible
We're gonna table this. We'll move to table. Yes. Yes. Motion by Vincent. What's that?
For future.
Yes. Vincent and Brenda?
Second.
Hepburn, sorry. All in favor of the table? Aye. Presentation and proposal for power purchase agreement between Southern Current Unified School District and
Is it working?
Solar.
Yes, this works. Thank you, everybody, for the opportunity to be here and present to you all. My name is Alex Smith. I'm from Luminace. Happy to share with you some information about possible solar project for your district. So a few things to start out about the solar project benefits that we've been exploring with your staff is a positive impact to the general fund, cost savings. We're looking at $4.5 million in electrical cost savings through the general fund. We also have next generation science standard aligned curricula. We'd like to use it. That's K through 12, so that as students are seeing instruction, they can also learn about it in the classroom and learn about how solar works and what it means. When we're going out in the parking lots with the solar canopies, we'll be putting lighting underneath the canopies, and there'll be more light underneath those canopies than there is today, because we're putting in a lighting fixture for every 4 cars. So it's brighter and it doesn't go out into the neighborhood because it's pointed down underneath the canopy. So you do have that benefit there. And then obviously, shade. Nice to have shaded parking, and when we're going out in other places, having shade for students in the community to be underneath when you get a lot of sun. All right. Here we have a little bit about the historical context of utility prices. So I think, as everyone knows, Southern California Edison prices have been going up. Everyone sees it on their bills. The long-term historical context here is just over 5% growth. And while there's been steeper periods and flatter periods, that long-term trend has been just over 5%. And I will say that recently has been even more than 5%. You can see here, Southern California Edison goes to the Public Utilities Commission often to raise their rates. And so you can see, depending on the tariff that you're on for elementary, intermediate, and high schools, they're going back to raise their rates multiple times in a current year. So in the past few years, it's been in excess of 5%. The type of program that we're proposing to you all is called a power purchase agreement. So what that means is there's no tax dollars, there's no debt, there's no financing required from the district. We're gonna bring all the capital for design, construction, and maintenance. And then we will sell the electricity back to the district for a price that's lower than Southern California Edison, and that's how we're creating a cost savings. Something that's crucial there is long-term, no maintenance responsibilities for the district. So we'll be fixing anything that breaks and replacing equipment as things go. We'll also be cleaning them. Here is the savings summary for the district. So I'll take you through this table here, which represents the proposal that we're providing to you all. So we've got our cumulative savings projections between 3.8 and 4.7 million. There's no capital required from the district. We will sell that electricity to you at a price of 18.59 cents per kilowatt hour. That will increase at 3.9% for the first 15 years and be flat for the last 10 years of the 25-year contract. You're currently using just over 3.6 million kilowatt hours, spending just over $1.1 million a year on that electricity, so that rate is just over 30 cents per kilowatt hour. It takes us some time to design, build, and turn the systems on, so by the time the systems were turned on, that Southern California Edison price would be 32.18 cents. We are projecting utilities to go up at 5% per year, which matches the long-term historical context and is really conservative for what we've seen in the last few years. We're looking at parking canopies and shade structures, just under 2 megawatts at your 4 locations. We'll be producing just over 3.3 million kilowatt hours, and that is a 91% solar fraction, meaning in any year, we'll be creating 91% of your energy. here's a visual representation of what it looks like for solar here in red, going up for 15 years, flat for 10, and then Southern California Edison going up at 3.5%, 5%, or 6%. We've modeled against the green and 5. Even if Southern California Edison were to go up at 3.5%, we're still well below the price of SCE. And in addition to that, even if Edison were to stay flat, we're still not even touching your rate as we go up in year 15. So a very conservative look at being able to generate cost savings for the district. Luminace, our firm, we have an office in Huntington Beach, which I work out of. We also have offices in Baltimore and New York. We are the largest owner of behind-the-meter solar projects in the nation. So we're well capitalized to be able to bring the funds to do all this work and perform for you guys out in the field. Locally, we've worked at over 500 schools in 52 districts, and that's here in Southern California. So very experienced with understanding how to do all of that. Understand DSA, how to work with DSA, and how to be around active campuses when there's lots of kids around. That's our specialty. We have teams that understand how to do all of that. And I think that particularly with DSA, we're able to make sure we get closed out with letters of certification so that you can do all your other projects that you need to do besides solar as we go forward. We also host community events when the systems get turned on. And so that's pretty exciting and fun. And we pay for all that. So we get a tent and have an event. We can have a groundbreaking. We can do a flip the switch when it's turned on. And we found that to be a really exciting thing for the community to see what's going on with the solar project. And then here are some of the logos that you see here, but a lot of projects are pretty nearby, the high school district, Palmdale School District, Keppel, Wilsona, Hughes Elizabeth Lake, as well as many in the Santa Clarita area and general Southland. I want to open it up for questions, if anybody has any questions on the project.
We'll be able to do electric vehicle charging as well, right?
Yes, there will also be electric vehicle charging stations going on at the sites where we're putting canopies in the parking lot. So here at the high school, at the middle school, and at one of the elementaries.
Does the district choose how much to charge for that, or?
Yes, the district will be in control about how much you want to charge, so and who can charge. So you can control who's charging and when to keep people off campuses in the evenings and such.
After the 25 years, what happens?
So there's 3 options. You can buy the system, you can renew the contract, or you can have us come tear it all down at our cost. And so we typically envision that using that third option as a lever to get a good deal to renew the project and just keep going.
So let's say we renew, okay, great. So will the last 10 years stay flat? So will that then change?
I would envision, and we're certainly not quoting prices on it now, but I would envision a lower price than you currently have. So otherwise, you can tell us to come take it away at our cost.
Right.
As a way to negotiate a good deal to extend the contract.
Right, but then you also said to purchase the.
Yes.
And then whatever that number would be, then you would just generate the electricity, or like how does that work? Do you have to like sign up with someone?
If you wanted to purchase the system, which is an option, you would then take on the maintenance responsibilities as well.
Oh, yeah.
You wouldn't be paying for the electricity anymore. So you may have more cost savings in that way, but you also have to take on fixing it and dealing with it and monitoring it, which is a large undertaking. We have a whole crew. We have 25 people that work out of our Huntington Beach office. That's all they do is monitor, maintain, and roll trucks to fix systems.
It's in your best interest of the system.
Correct. The only way we're making any money is by selling you power. So the system's got to be on. So we're aligned in that we both want the system to be on. You to pay less for power and us to make money.
Question, our biggest expense is to put a season stadium light. At night. How does this help us?
I would say typically, you know, the HVAC is the largest load, on school districts generally, you know, because cooling off all that space during the day is it's a very big part of your electric bill. And so the solar does line up well with that. And in the evenings, you will use lighting. What we do during the day, let's say we're producing more power than you use, we'll spin the meter backwards, create net metering credits that you can then apply for your evening loads. So there's ways that the solar can provide benefit there as well.
We're getting ready to do a ag project. And one of the section is a open air barn. If we decided to go solar, would it be advantageous to put some on there? And would it affect the sound for the animals that would run at the ag program?
Well, the way we're planning to do this is with carports and shade structures only. We typically don't go on rooftops because of the complexities of dealing with DSA. And it can be very challenging to put it on structures where people are going to be underneath the DSA. So we have our own freestanding structures to avoid all of that. But we can absolutely work with your staff to incorporate it into a design perhaps, or not.
That was brought up today.
Yep.
And so, you're here, it was a good question to ask.
Sure.
Okay.
Mr. Smith, do you have any pictures of, you mentioned four of our sites. Do you have any sort of designs of what that would look like?
Yep. Do you have the ability to pull there we go. Here we are. So here we are at Roseman Elementary. You can see we're going out in the parking lot here, up top. This is also where the shade canopies would be out in the parking lot, and we'd be locating the equipment, the electric vehicle charging stations out in the parking lot there. Here at the high school and your district office, and there's many other campuses here on site. We're looking at going into the southwest corner in the parking lots there, connecting back to various meters on site. You have many meters here on site. At your middle school, we're looking at the parking lot on the west side, and then also a shade canopy along the edge of the blacktop and grass area. And here, while we know you're making a lot of changes here, we've got some in the parking lot as well as a shade canopy. We'll most likely be moving that shade canopy out into your grass zone away from all the new construction.
I don't know, Mr. Smith, I think we may have mentioned this to the left, where you see those, I don't know if those portables are still there. No, they're not there now? No. That is going to be another parking area.
Yep.
Heading further west from the one that you do have covered.
Yep.
Potentially another's.
Absolutely, and there's opportunities for us to modify the design to dial it in for whatever you may want.
So if there's like a specific section that we might be interested in, like in the kindergarten playground over at RES, where we could possibly have structure there.
Absolutely. Yep. There's still room for all of that. Oh, I can answer that question.
It's employee benefit.
So DSA now has required that if you do anything inside of a parking lot at all, so if you were to upgrade the parking lot in any way, forget solar structures, just to do anything to the parking lot, you must now add electric vehicle charging stations as a part of that project. So because we're going in parking lots and we're going to open up the A number to that particular lot, we are required as a part of our project to include the electric vehicle charging stations. And so that's a requirement now. Anytime you do any work in a parking lot, DSA is mandating EV chargers.
So that's an option, we can control that as a district, so we can set hours, or we can set who uses it by having an account or a key fob even. We can lock people out. People
Yes.
in case you show up at midnight for charge.
Yep.
Because it has to be available.
Absolutely, you have total control over the chargers, so who's charging and how much you're charging as well.
And what's your typical turnaround time? Let's say our next meeting, we discuss this and I don't know what's gonna happen, but let's say we approved it. Then like, what are next steps? What's typically, how long will we have a fully operating everything going?
It typically takes about 2 years to go from executing a contract, to go through design, go through DSA, get it built out, and then get it finished and turned on and get permission from Southern California Edison. They tend to be a long pole at the end.
We're going to be building a brand new CPE building, which is going to require a significant amount of power probably. We're also going to be building a brand new elementary school.
Right.
So implementing that in the future, with this, are we going to have to renew or change our contract in any way?
Well, typically there's opportunities to add solar we're always happy to build more solar. And that's something that we can work with Robert and the team on as we go forward. And it's a pretty simple modification and pretty typical as well.
All of a sudden, I mean, we're paying like 18 cents to start, but then you're like, oh, we've got a whole new array and now we're paying 24 cents and changing the contract.
I would say typically not. I mean, typically, you know, given that we have meters here throughout the campus, you know, it's not going to change the overall scope of the project too much. And typically when you're adding more solar and adding sites, it tends to make things better.
So like the new school network,
we can add that in later. Yep, exactly. Once we get farther along in your design process and have more information about what your load's going to be as we get through that engineering process, then we can roll that in and add it on. Well, we may have a new PPA for that extra site, but in terms of this site, since you're a little farther along, we can typically just roll it into the same one.
Yeah, one more, the charging for the EVs. I believe AV High School uses one of the companies where you have to use a card or whatever. Am I correct in that?
the charge point.
Yeah, charge point or Blink.
These would not be that way. You could use a regular debit card or credit card.
Okay.
So we'll have a fully functioning payment system, and then that'll go back through to you all. And then you can choose to charge whatever you want to charge as part of that.
Do you charge a fee for like POS?
Well, you all can, but
Right.
So we can choose a vendor.
So, right, like I'm saying, for instance, if they swipe through the card and the merchant that has to do that, there's usually a fee associated with that. Is that something that we would have to subscribe to and pay said merchant, or do you guys handle that and just give us the proceeds from?
no, it's all you. So we will give you a fully functioning system that's ready to go with all the software and the hardware set up and ready to go. And then all the billing and back end will go through the district. So whatever you want to charge.
We don't have to go through a debit card.
Correct. It goes back to you, and then basically, if you want to subsidize your employees to encourage EV charging, you can. If you want to charge premium, you can. You can set it for the solar rates as well, since it's mostly going to be during the day. You can set it for what you're paying for solar from us rather than paying for the utility. We've seen that as well, which generally makes it much more cost effective than any of the other publicly available EV charging stations, because they usually have quite a big markup on there. And so you'd have the ability and flexibility to do all that, make those choices.
Is your company maintaining charging too, or is that us?
No, we don't maintain EV charging. Yep.
That would normally be, like I said, probably a contractor or another vendor.
Yep.
That's right.
But that
Well,
would be a
we wouldn't-
profit for us, a profit, money making.
It could be as well. It could be as well. And then you could also put that extra in there to kind of deal with any possible maintenance out into the future. That's another way to think about it as well.
any potential power outages with blackout, due to weather or other situations?
Right, so we are connected to the grid with so these solar panels are connected into your main switch gear. And if Southern California Edison has a PSPS event, for example, the solar will also go down. So if the utility goes down, the solar goes down.
So there's no.
There's no resiliency or battery. That's correct. Yeah.
May I ask, I noticed when I installed solar on my own roof, there's a gap between the solar panel and the roof itself. And initially we had a lot of pigeons building nests under there, and there was a lot of bird poop. And so we had to hire somebody to come in and put wire netting or mesh netting around that. Is that something that you all do so we don't face that same problem?
We haven't really had that issue up into the canopies.
Okay. It's all pretty much sealed right under.
Yeah.
Right.
If you're gonna be.
Well, it's open.
You'll see, there's nothing there for them to get there. Your roof is, you've got that gap, they go under there, so, most of the solar companies are selling what they call critter guards.
For the rooftops, yep. But for the canopies, they're open.
I just had mine installed, and, critter guards all around them. Everybody else has got the pigeons on the roof, I don't.
Nice.
Everyone else.
We send them to your house.
Well, I put my critter guard
You
on
know,
this
you
summer.
did.
Other questions?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Right, thank you very much. Thank you for your time. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good evening.
Approve updated district-wide comprehensive safety plan.
Yes, board, if you could, just to give you, it's on, the district-wide comprehensive school safety plan actually begins on page 53. And then you probably, if you had a chance to peruse this, you're probably wondering like, oh, wow, there's still some COVID stuff in there. Yes, we still have to have some COVID stuff because believe it or not, occasionally we still have someone coming down with COVID. The new plan that is incorporated in this, that I would really like to draw your attention to, and it's not really extensive, but it is something that I had to add this year. It starts on page 41 of the plan, and it's the instructional continuity plan, July of 2025. And basically what this plan is all about is if, and that's a big word, if, we have another emergency situation, much like COVID, or maybe it only lasts for a few weeks instead of a couple years, what would Southern Kern do to meet the needs of our students? So that's basically what this instructional continuity plan deals with. And so it's starts on page 41 and ends on page 44. It's not real extensive, but it outlines our ability to both have in-person and online instruction. It also talks about how we would communicate with our parents. It talks about our ability to still meet the needs of our students and mental health, social, emotional needs they may have. So yeah, this is the part that I wanted to make sure got added to the plan, which is the new section.
I move to approve.
One second. Motion by Jeff Burns, second by Vince Will. Student. What do you say?
Thanks.
Any advice? You good? All in favor?
Aye.
Personnel items, Ms. Hargis.
Yeah, so you approve, all of the items as listed.
Anybody have any questions? Move and accept. Motion by Vincent, seconded by Wright. All in favor? Aye.
Move to adjourn.
Did I hear Ms. Finch first? Yeah. Second?
I firsted.
You firsted, yeah.
I moved.
All in favor?
Eight.